off the glass and in. Vikings take the lead. Lazar to inbound, gets it into Epping, back to Lazar, 10 seconds remaining. Lazar dribbles from right, gets it to Epping, flips it to Fredrickson, fakes the three, now looks to drive. Shot fake, top three is up, and done!
Oh my
goodness!
Fredrickson
for
the
win! Reckner at the free throw line, 7.2 seconds played. First one is up, off the back iron, no good. Rebound, Nealer, 6 seconds to play. Gets it to Thomas, left side. Shot to Kelsey is up and no good. Rebound, Myler, and the Vikings are heading to the state semifinal for the first time since 1941 as the Vikings get over the hump and are heading to the Kohl Center.
Here they are, the voice of the Vikings, live on WiscoRadio.com.
And welcome back here to Wisco Radio, folks. 3 straight days of basketball. Yesterday we got some girls basketball action.
Badgerland Fencing covers all of your fencing needs. From
folks,
farm to residential, commercial fences, Badgerland Fencing offers you the highest quality work at the industry's most competitive prices. Chris and his team have over 30 years of experience and urge you to call for a free estimate. Their number, 608-444-9266. 608-444-9266. Call today.
On the news, in the paper, or on the web, it seems we are always hearing about the incredible things 3D printing can do. And it's true. Every day, amazing things are 3D printed at Midwest Prototyping. Since 2001, Midwest Prototyping has been creating world-class parts and prototypes for companies across the country, all from right here in Wisconsin. Midwest Prototyping is proud to support Mount Horeb Athletics. Go Vikings! Focused Dog Training provides comprehensive, lasting dog training for families. We offer a suite of high-touch training services that allow us to tailor our approach to your specific needs and produce results regardless of your dog's age, breed, and prior training history. We stand behind our training methods and guarantee that Focused Dog Training will be your trainer for life. Call us at 855-636-2873 or visit FocusedDogTraining.com to learn more about your free in-home consultation. Focused Dog Training, focused on helping families one dog at a time. Build your new home in Mount Horeb's desirable Valley View Heights neighborhood. Attractively priced, single-family home sites for your new custom home are now available on the southwest side of beautiful Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. Call Alex Pfister with Century 21 Pfister Agency at 608-576-7222. That's 608-576-7222. Join the Valley View Heights neighborhood today. Farmers Savings Bank is proud of their community banking tradition. Farmers Savings Bank is committed to providing a high level of customer service and products to enhance the well-being of the communities they serve. Whether it's for a home, farm, land, or business loan, Farmers Savings Bank has money to lend. Located in many locations across southern Wisconsin, be sure to call your local Mount Horeb Farmers Savings Bank at 608-437-2265. Farmers Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender. The GrandStay Hotel and Suites is a brand new hotel in Mount Horeb. The GrandStay caters to businesses and leisure travelers and is ideal for individuals and families. In a convenient location near Madison, GrandStay is also a great option for guests visiting neighboring Barneveld or Epic Systems in Verona. We offer clean, comfortable rooms, free hot breakfast, an indoor pool, hot tub, and a 24-hour fitness center. To see pictures, visit GrandStayMountHoreb.com or book online or call today 608-437-5200 to make your reservation. Dr. Steven Samuelson and Lauren Ta are your local eye care professionals. Any time of year is a great time to schedule your optical exam and your eye care needs. Clear vision starts with healthy eyes, so contact Samuelson Eye Care, 437-3377 to schedule your eye exam today. 437-3377. You'll be glad you did.
Are you in need of chiropractic services? Dr. Joe Ryan at Mount Horeb Chiropractic will provide the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient. Dr. Ryan uses advanced spinal correction and chiropractic adjustments utilizing state-of-the-art techniques. Dr. Ryan has years of training, expertise, and experience in helping patients get relief from their back pain, neck pain, and other related conditions. Located at 1840 Business Highway 18151 next to Pizza Hut, or call 608-437-0099 to set up an appointment today.
Now it's time to get back to the Vikings athletic action, brought to you live right here on Wisco Radio.
Welcome back here to Wisco Radio. Sorry, folks. Last time it was a little weird. As soon as we got on, ads started playing as I was so rudely interrupted. And just kidding, everything's all right. We got a little wrap-up here of the JV game. Vikings up big here as we prepare for the Vikings to take on Reedsburg and Tyson Tully. Dan, really the story is Tyson Tully averaging, around 22.3 points per game. So the reason I say the Beavers and Tyson Tully is really because they're led by big Tyson Tully. It would be a mismatch, Dan. I remember the last time we played him, every single shot it seemed like every single shot he took just went down. And whether or not that's true, don't quote me on it, but he has such an amazing shot, such a graceful shot. It seems like it goes in every single time, and it wouldn't surprise me because he is the second leading scorer in the Badger North, just second behind Mitch Listow. Mitch Listow averaging 23.8, and I believe Tully, what'd you say, Dan? It was
22.3.
22.3, so just a little bit behind. That'll be hopefully a match. Hopefully no mismatch tonight. The Vikings hopefully they'll be able to eliminate such threat, but I always say, Dan, you can never completely take away some star players. You can just slow them down. And they didn't do that last time, did the Vikings. And Reedsburg really made it a close game. And eventually the Vikings had to make the small little plays that win games for you. And that's what they did, and that's why they came away at the victory. Reedsburg just coming off of a dominating loss. They got absolutely dominated by Wanakee. I believe they lost
82-61.
82-61, so a 19-point loss.
21. Not to correct you, Will.
Sorry, 82-6. So yeah, 21-point loss. Excuse me. So yeah, a tough loss by Reedsburg, and hopefully they're not gonna seek revenge because that could potentially mean bad news for the Vikings. The Reedsburg Beavers are 8-7. Overall and 2-6 in conference, right, Dan?
Yes, sir.
So 6 of those losses are coming from in conference. Out of it, they are 8-1 or 6-1 with the 2 wins in conference. So not a bad team at all. I mean, it's you for sure don't have a bad team when you have Tyson Tully on your team, who is one of the best players, if not the best player in the Badger North. And the Vikings are for sure going to need to slow him down. All right, we got 2:33 left in the JV game. We're going to take a quick break, come back with some more pregame stats and information. Don't tune away, folks. When we come back, we'll have those stats for you.
Hey sports fans, be sure to cheer on your local sports team just like Kittleson Landscape has for over 25 years. Like many of you, Craig and his team have students and athletes in the Mount Horeb schools and are dedicated to their success and the overall success of the athletic programs. Need a place to go and unwind after the big game? Kittleson Landscape specializes in outdoor fire pits, patios, and much more. To get your free estimate today, call 608-437-8845. Hope you enjoy the game, brought to you by Kittleson Landscape. Go Vikings! When the stadium lights go on, you know it's time for Mount Horeb Barneville football, and that's where you'll find Mark Norman and Associates. As a parent and local business owner, Mark knows the importance of supporting high school athletics, the athletic program, and Mount Horeb Barneville football. Mark Norman and Associates also knows the importance of buying or selling your property. At First Weber of Mount Horeb, Mark Norman and Associates want to help you find the perfect home in the area, whether it be in the town or in the country. For the expertise and the experience you need, call 608-575-3393 or visit them online, marknorman.firstweber.com.
Wisco Radio welcomes our newest sponsor, Beek, Stein Chiropractic of Mount Horeb. Dr. Kristen and her team are here to help you and your family stay happy and healthy all year round. Beek Stein provides chiropractic services for infants to seniors alike. Conveniently located at 1809 Springdale Street in the North Cape building, you can easily make an appointment today by calling 608-437-2222. 608-437-2222. Beek Stein Chiropractic, helping the body heal itself.
Whatever the occasion, the Grub Patrol is the perfect location to meet friends, family, or business associates. Located at 105 South 2nd Street in Mount Horeb's historic Creamery building, the Grumpy Troll is Mount Horeb's dining destination. You'll experience a relaxed and casual dining experience along with favorites such as the Grump Chips or the Oofta Pretzel. The second level is home to Grumpy Troll's award-winning specialty pizza, including Cosmic Swirl, Piggy Pie, and their traditional Grumpy Troll pizza. Stop in today.
PlayN Wisconsin is a proud supporter of Wisco Radio and this year's Mount Horeb Barneville football team. To help better your game, we sell training goals for stepping, tackling, blocking, and best of all, improving your quarterback's throwing arm. Try it first at PlayN Wisconsin in Middleton.
All right, guys, we're ready for our four-season sunroom, and Daddy's gonna get a rec room with refreshments.
Oh no, we'll be sleeping under the stars.
Mom, what about the one with, the fun?
Nice try, little bro. It's a gym. My gym.
Hey, Grandma's getting her Four Seasons garden room. Weather tight and still like being outdoors.
Maybe a living room. Oh no, wait, a family hub.
Yeah! No matter what the budget, the season, or the climate, Four Seasons sunrooms let you and your family enjoy the outdoors inside. Call now to hear more about these great offers from the premier manufacturer of sunrooms since 1975.
More reasons for Four Seasons now.
To find out more, call toll-free 800-988-4477. That's 800-988-4477. Call 800-988-4477 today.
Experience any of PlayN Wisconsin's play systems, trampolines, basketball hoops, ceramic grills, and so much more at Wisconsin's largest indoor showroom, play, and party facility in Middleton. Unlike other suppliers, we're local and provide in-house service from consultation to installation. Try it first at PlayN Wisconsin.
You are listening to the Mount Horeb Vikings on Wisco Radio.
Welcome back here to Wisco Radio. Will Haraldson, Dan Linz, and our own Carter Kuhn on camera here this afternoon. 1:05 left in the JV game, so we'll get on our little pregame shoot-around for the varsity coming up in a little bit. Either team has not taken the court yet, or not sitting on the sides getting ready to take the court. The Vikings, Dan, coming off a very hard-fought victory against Barneville. That hard-fought is basically the only adjective or verb or whatever it's called that I can use to describe how that game was, because every team had their run, and there was a point where they were down, the Vikings, were down 7, and they had to fight their way back and eventually won by 1 point. So it's a win's a win, as Coach Nessheim will always say. He'll take a win over a loss any day. And that's what they got last time. Dan, I believe Jason had around 22, something around that. So he had another one of his fantastic games of the season. Along with a good supporting cast, Bryce Farnsworth got into the mix. I think you said every starter scored in the first half, so that's always a good sign when every starter scores. And as we finish up this little end here, the Vikings look like the Vikings JV team looks like they're gonna pick up the victory here tonight. But I've said it throughout the games this year, Dan, that the first team to 50 wins, and not to get a big head, but I'm always right about that. The first team that has been to 50 has won every game this year. Especially last week, the Vikings were the first to 50, and they won the game. The game before that, where we were in Baraboo, the first team to 50 won that game. And the game against Monona Grove, sorry, I couldn't grab that off the top of my head. The first one to 50 won that game, and that was the Eagles, and they pulled that one away. So every game where the first team to 50 has won, not to get a big head, that I'm always right about that. The three-point shooting for the Vikings last week, I would say, was probably around 500. Not like 100%, obviously, because there were a couple misses. But as the JV game will wrap up here in a second, we got a little banner that the cheerleaders have made for your varsity Vikings, and they're going to look to tear that to shreds as they walk in.
No band here. It's going to be pretty interesting without a band here. Easier to hear.
Oh, it's going to be much, much easier to hear, as our ears won't get blasted every 5 seconds by a band. And Dan, we were sitting here during pregame, as you said there's no band. They had to play a recording of the national anthem because they have no luxury of having a pet band to play the national anthem. As the JV players shake hands after a hard game, a hard-fought game that the Vikings won, and your varsity team are going to get prepared to come out tonight. Not the biggest showing, but I mean, still fans are always showing up here. Some they show up.
Doesn't feel like a Saturday with a game.
I mean, yeah. Usually we have Friday night, Thursday, usually weekday games, and not as much accustomed to a weekend game, but we'll take it. Anytime we can watch this Viking team play basketball, we're game. As the Vikings pregame, right here on Wisco Radio, I'll keep you informed on any new or upcoming games that we have in the schedule. Dan, let's focus on this game right now. We got the Vikings have the mismatch of Tyson Tully as the Vikings take the court and rip through that little banner the cheerleaders made them. They have the unfortunate task of having to guard Tyson Tully, the 6'4" senior, I believe.
Tully not only a scorer, he distributes 3 assists a game, so dual threat, I guess you could say.
Dual threat he is. He can basically do anything you want him to do on the court. And then from the last time I watched him, my jaw dropped a couple times. The difficulty of shots that he made, and it's hard to imagine that he won't find somewhere in the collegiate level where he'll play, whether it's Division 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. If there is even a Division 4 basketball. But the Vikings with their typical Indiana Hoosier throwback sort of uniforms out here getting in pregame. As Dan, I hear you've got some more stats for us. You were working real hard during the first half of that JV game, and we appreciate you for that.
As I believe we already said, Reedsburg with an 8-7 overall record. They average about 62 points a game, and we already said this, but they lost to Waunakee on Tuesday, 82-61. And with that loss, they're 5 games back of Waunakee and 4 back of Mount Horeb, 2-6 in conference. The Furman brothers are after Tully in scoring, with Ben having 11.4 and Will with 11.1. Tully's not only the leading scorer and dishing out a lot of assists, but he also averages 6.5 rebounds a game. And Furman, not sure which one, I didn't catch that, but leading assister with just under 5 a game. Tully with 3. And for Mount Horeb, 11-3 record, averaging just a shade under 52 points a game. Beat Barneveld 58-57 a couple of nights ago, despite being outscored by 3 in the second half.
Yeah.
6-2 in conference, a game back of the Waunakee Warriors. Larson averaging right at 15 points a game. Nortman with 11 and Farnsworth with 11 as well. So pretty even scoring for the Vikings, which is probably why they're winning so many games.
And Dan, you just said the Vikings are one behind the Warriors in the Badger North, and right now they have sole possession of second place, with Sauk losing, I believe it was to Beaver Dam in one of their games recently. It was either Beaver Dam or Reedsburg, I can't remember. But they did in fact lose, so the Vikings do have sole possession of second place right now, but they'd rather have first place, and that's what they're going to try to fight for today.
Waunakee's only conference loss was to the Vikings. I believe they're 7-1 in conference.
Only conference loss, as Dan said, is to your Mount Horeb Vikings, and next time we'll see Waunakee will be in Waunakee, and Mitch Listow will be back and healthy. As he was back in the Badger Challenge, so not a season-ending injury that he had, and he'll be back, and hopefully he doesn't have his best game, because that guy is a game changer for sure. He is. But we got Reedsburg right now. Geez, Dan, I almost forgot what kind of game what game we had going on right now. And they need to stay in the moment. It's really hard to not stay in the moment and think about maybe playoffs or seedings-wise, but it's important to stay in the moment, I always say, because if you get too far ahead of yourself, you may overlook some teams. Like a Baraboo, for instance, Dan, we thought we were going to go in there and blow them out like 32 like the first time, and they only won by 11, so a little bit of a scare. Still a double-digit win, but not what we predicted. And you got to be ready for any single game. Like I said, whether it's a 7-1 Stoughton team or a 0-15 Milton, we never underestimate any team that you play, whether it's undefeated or winless, I think it's called. Never underestimate a team at any stage, because they could be the most dangerous, because they're not playing for anything. And if I honestly, throughout all of my games, I'm always sort of nervous every game the Vikings play, whether they play a group of 5th graders. I'd still be scared because you may underestimate them, and that's never good. Underestimating a team is not the best decision, I would say. Dan, I'd assume that the starting lineup will stay the same for the Vikings, but we did get a change with Tyler Kruba getting the nod in Baraboo. But that was just because Travis Classy was out with an illness, I believe. So I didn't get a chance to ask him that, but that would be my guess. Excuse me. Sorry, it's an early morning for us here in Wisco. We're not usually accustomed to a afternoon game. I believe this is our first game around noon. We have done a Saturday game, and that was the Badger Challenge against Monona Grove, so hopefully we don't bring the same luck that we did in that game, because that would be really bad, because the Vikings lost that game. But let's go back to Vikings. Dan, over the past couple of games, we've been really critiquing the ability to get those offensive and defensive rebounds in. All of the games that they have lost, they have been out-rebounded, especially Monona Grove. I believe they were out-rebounded by either 12 or 15. I cannot remember. And you are not going to win many games if you are out-rebounded more than 10. You're not going to win any of those games. And if the Vikings are going to look back at that, and they made adjustments, especially last week when they were faced with adversity, they rebounded with 2 hands. I mean, where I was going with that, Dan, is a lot of these days we see these players make athletic plays like going up with a one-handed rebound, and if you ask any coach, that'll absolutely infuriate you on any single level, because you are much more likely to get a rebound with 2 hands than you are with 1. And a perfect example of that was when the Vikings were playing Monona Grove with Schrockenthaler, the 6'7" dude. I can't remember which player went up with tried to go a one-handed rebound and ripped it out of his hands. And if you maybe would have got more of those offensive or defensive rebounds, you could have won the game. And that's what they've been thinking back onto, and they've made good adjustments, going up for one-handed rebounds, boxing out, just playing some solid defense. And on the topic of defense, they've been playing a very, very good defense as of late. I can't really... What set the game and tone was when the Vikings were down 7. It was all on the defensive end that got them back in the game, and especially Jason Larson and all those bigs who just playing lockdown defense, and they're playing that against every team. So I'm glad to see the defense getting better, and they're making some mid-season adjustments as we're approaching postseason. I can't remember exactly how many more games we have to go. I'm sure Dan will remind me during our little break we'll have up quick. So we got just a shade under 7 minutes in our little pregame show before tip-off. We'll come back with some starting lineups, and Dan will hopefully correct me on how many games, or tell me how many games we have left. You've been listening to Wisco Radio. Don't tune away, folks. We got a great one for you this afternoon.
Farmers Savings Bank is proud of their community banking tradition. Farmers Savings Bank is committed to providing a high level of customer service and products to enhance the well-being of the communities they serve. Whether it's for a home, farm, land, or business loan, Farmers Savings Bank has money to lend. Located in many locations across southern Wisconsin, be sure to call your local Mount Horeb Farmer Savings Bank at 608-437-2265. Farmer Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender. Can't make it to the game? Catch it live on WiscoRadio.com or download our mobile app on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store.
So I have received word during our little break there that we have 7 games left. Is that right, Dan? 7 games left. A big thank you to Dan Lins for figuring that out, not making me sound like a complete idiot on air. So thank you, Dan, for figuring that out. I told you not to count this game, so we still technically haven't played this game, so there's still one more game to go. So technically there's 8 games to be played. But let's go Reedsburg side of the ball. They do have the height advantage with Tyson Tully at 6'4", and Dane Rothwell, who's 6'5", so they do have a higher average height with the Vikings. Every single player on their varsity team is at least 6 foot, nobody under 6 feet tall. So that'll hopefully not be, if the Vikings could take advantage of their quickness, which they've been showing when they've been faced with these tall tasks. See what I did there, Dan? Tall tasks with tall players. When they've been faced with these tall tasks, they have responded very well. Just like they did against Wanakee, they had some. I think every game so far this year, if maybe 1 or 2 that they have not had the height advantage, and they've won 11 games. So it shows how they handle adversity. Reedsburg on the other side, 8-7 overall, but 2-6 in conference, Dan.
Yep.
So not the prettiest conference schedule, or excuse me, conference record, but. I mean, they're still a very good team. Like last time we saw them, Dan, they played just phenomenal. And really, if the Vikings want to come away with a victory today, there's really one thing in my mind that they need to absolutely do.
Can I take a wild guess?
Go ahead.
Stop Tyson Tully.
I was going to say slow down Tyson Tully, because you can never stop a player unless you hold them scoreless. You can never stop a player. And a person of his level, you're going to need to focus on, and because if you take your mind off of him, he's got other players that can help him out, or he'll just completely take over the game. So if the Vikings are going to try to avoid being upset today, they're going to have to take away Tyson Tully, and also Will and Ben Furman, also Max Tully. They're going to have to take away them. I remember them knocking down a couple threes when Tyson was being double teamed, so the Vikings are going to need to fix that. The Vikings starting lineup today, I will assume, will be the same. It'll be Larson, Nortman, Farnsworth, Classy, and Zenz. If Dan's starting lineup is any accurate for Reedsburg, it'll be Max Tully, the 6'1" sophomore, and then Will Furman, the 6 foot sophomore, Jacob Drengy, Dregney.
I'm going to go with that.
There we go.
Today.
Dregney, the 6 foot junior. Geez, I'm sorry, I butchered that last name. Tyson Tully, 6'4", senior, and Ben Furman, a 6 foot senior. So not a relatively young starting lineup with 2 sophomores, actually. So a relatively young, I say. They're not extremely young, like they don't have any freshmen in, but they do have some sophomores.
The lineups are courtesy of Coach Nelsheim, so I'm guessing they're all going to be pretty accurate, but
yeah,
he's human, so he might make a mistake or two.
You also may have heard him wrong as well, so if it is wrong, I'm probably going to blame you instead of Coach Nelsheim, because I don't like to blame Coach Nelsheim for anything. As we got some players, some people of the student section grabbing a ball from the Reedsburg players' practice and draining a 3. So that was what all the excitement was about over there. Actually a pretty darn good 3-point shot there. I believe it was Seth Thompson. So Seth, you get a shout out. Drano on the 3. I'll completely avoid talking about the other 2 that you shot. that we're not going to say because I'm not going to embarrass them on air. Let's just say they didn't go in. There we go. That's how you recover. We got 1:13 left in our pregame show. So some quick keys to the game, as always: free throws, transition buckets, three-pointers, solid defense, bench play. Anything else, Dan?
Slow down, Tyson Tully.
Slow down, Tyson Tully. There you go. I forgot about that one. So that's one thing the Vikings are going to absolutely need to do if they're going to want to pull this victory off and improve to 12-3 in overall, and 7-2 in conference, I believe, would be their record if everything stays the same. We got 41 seconds till the national anthem, so we're going to keep it here, and hopefully you'll be able to listen to the national anthem. As the PA announcer, Coach Ryan Kleppe, you may recognize that name. Coach Ryan Kleppe is the head coach of the Mount Horeb Viking varsity football team. So right now, I'll hand it over to Coach Kleppe, and he'll get you guys ready for the national anthem. You've been listening to Wisco Radio, folks. Don't tune away. We've got a great one for you after this national anthem. So not quite the Mount Horeb varsity band starting lineup, but we'll take it anyway. I always love hearing that. You know, I don't want to, what is it? It's in its own kind of music category, I would say. Is for your starting lineup, we'll see if it's accurate, if Coach Nessheim has an accurate starting lineup. So the 6-foot sophomore, Max Tully, he's got 1 for 1 so far as Coach Nessheim, and he's 2 for 2 with Will Furman, the 6-foot sophomore. So 2 sophomores to start the game. The 6'4" senior Tyson Tully, so he's 3 of 3, and now he's 3 of 4. Number 22 Matthew Kohlermeyer, and number 23 Ben Furman. So Jacob Gendry isn't a starter, but we got our regular starting lineup in Bryce Farnsworth, Dustin Zenz, Jason Larson, Gunnar Nortman, and Travis Classy. So the same starting lineup for your Vikings as it's been all season, I would assume. You know, I should not say that right now because watch them change it. So far, I'm 2 of 2 for the starting lineup. I assume it's going to stay that way.
3 for 3 with number 3.
3 for 3 with number 3, who also likes to shoot threes, Bryce Farnsworth. Gunnar Norman, so I'm 4 of 4. There we go. There we go. And I'm 5 of 5 for your Vikings. Watch, look at that then. We start, we should just get right around tip-off at 1, 2, 3, 4, 12:34. That's pretty darn cool. It's the little things you should enjoy in life, Dan. So Tyson Tully, that is, and Jason Larson will get set for the tip-off tonight. Vikings and Beavers ready for tip-off. Should be a good one, folks.
Compared to what we had for the Barneville game, this seems like there's nobody here.
Seems dead almost, as Reedsburg Beavers control the tip. Trying to get it down low to Tyson Tully. He's going to work his way on Travis Classy. His shot is up no good and rebounded by Gunnar Norton. An outlet pass to Jason Larson. Had a absolutely wide open Bryce Farnsworth, but they missed him. Pump fake on the three. Gets it into Gunnar Nortman, who got it out to Travis Classy. Over to Jason Larson. Back to Dustin Zenz, who get the offense set for the Vikings. Guarded by Max or Will Furman. Farnsworth fakes the three-pointer. Step back Jack gets it over to Travis Classy, who misses the three-pointer, and Dustin Zenz gets in the act quick with a offensive rebound. He'll go tough to the hole. His shot no good, and it's ripped down by Kohlenmeyer. Over to Ben Furman. We'll try to get it across the court. Finds, or thought about getting to Max Tully. Instead gets it over to Will Furman. I assume is some sort of relationship. Max Tully. He'll kick it out to Kohlenmeyer. Over to Furman. Guarded by Larson. Over to Tyson Tully. Or excuse me. There's Tyson Tully. His shot is up and good for two. Just a long two for Tyson Tully. So he gets the first score on the board tonight for the Beavers as Vikings are going to look to respond. Gunnar Norton finds himself wide open on baseline. Fouled. Shot no good. Well, he'll be at the line shooting two. So a wide open baseline that Gunnar Nortman was given, and he takes it to the hole. Unfortunately, shot no good, but he'll be at the free throw line shooting two. His first one is up and good. So Gunnar Nortman first on the board for the Vikings tonight. His second free throw is up and coming. It is up and good. So Gunnar Nortman goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line as Will Furman will take the ball across the court like the first name, not the team he's playing for. Tyson Tully, he's guarded by Travis Classy. Baseline drive, finds himself wide open, and Max Tully will turn the ball over. That'll be a Beaver turnover.
As Carter Daniels checks in for Matthew Kohlmeyer.
So Dustin Zenz will take it across the midcourt stripe. Gets it over to Travis Classy, over to Bryce Farnsworth in the corner, guarded by Furman. His shot is awkward, up, no good. Rebounded by that number 11, Carter Daniels, who just recently checked in. Ben Furman's going to rush it across the court. Over to Daniels. Solid defense by Farnsworth. Ball tipped away, finds its way in the hands of Furman. Daniels will go strong up to the hole. His shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Daniels, gets his own rebound. He goes up, he is fouled, so he'll be at the free throw line shooting two.
Looks like Farnsworth was anticipating a foul on the last drive down, kind of leaned in, expecting a call and didn't get one.
Kind of, yeah, expected a foul and threw up an awkward shot, and it didn't go down. So Daniels will be at the free throw line. His first is on the way. It is up and good. So Daniels starts 1 of 1 from the free throw line and gets his first points of the game. Daniels getting ready for his second. The student section getting into it here for the Vikings. His second free throw is up and good. So Daniels goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and Reedsburg's got a 2-point lead. Your Vikings are going to look to answer. Dusty Zenz will go to the hole. His shot is up, no good. And Ben Furman with the rebound gets it over to Will Furman, out to Daniels. Thought about the three instead. He pulls it down over to Will Furman. He'll get everything all set. Guarded by Dustin Zenz. Over to Daniels. Daniels going to find a cutting Max Furman, or Ben Furman, excuse me. As Max Furman will launch for three. His shot is up, no good, and it'll be Vikings ball, I believe. Excuse me. It'll be Vikings ball. His lob pass into Classy, and he gets it back to Zenz. So Zenz will get the offense set. Farnsworth guarded by Ben Furman. Nice little baseline clear out by Jason Larson. And Zenz guarded by Furman. Will Furman, that is. Jason Larson finds himself open for three. He'll take that shot. His shot is short, no good. Up into the air, rebounded by Dustin Zenz. Gets it back to Larson. Bobbled it a little bit. Gets it over to Zenz. Back to Classy. Little shake and bake move by Classy. Tough drive to the hole. His shot is up and good. So Travis put some points on the board for the Vikings.
If I'm not mistaken, Zen's already with 2 offensive rebounds.
2 offensive boards does Zen's have as Tully. Pass to Tyson Tully in, trying to little lob pass down low to the post. That's deflected up in the air is number 4, Jacob Drendry, who was supposed to be a starter according to Dan, wasn't, so I blame you for not getting that right, Dan. Just kidding.
And Kruba checks in for Classy, so senior for senior checking in.
As Tyler Kruba checked in, as Furman gets it over to Tyson Tully. Tully, little shake and bake on Tyler Kruba. Drendry, I forgot what we said his name was, Dan. Tully, a little baseline drive.
Dregney
as Furman will launch for 3, and his shot is up and good. So the Beavers have a 3-point lead. And not a 3-point has been attempted so far tonight. Gunnar Nortman, lob pass over to Farnsworth. That'll change right now. His Farnsworth shot is up, no good. And Tyson Tully with the rebound. He'll get it over to Max Tully, Will Furman. His shot was no good. Nice little spin move by Dustin Zenz, but unfortunately the ball was poked away by a Beaver and turned over. Tyson Tully in the open court, guarded. Nice closeout by Tyler Kruba. His ball is blocked, and it'll retain Beaver ball.
As Owen Ziegler checks in for Farnsworth, so shooter for shooter.
Shooter for shooter.
One checks in, another checks out.
3-point. That's the luxury that Coach Nessheim has. He's got a couple shooters that can check in for one another. As Dregney, I got it right that time, as Tully will get it over to Furman. Will Furman, that is. Ball deflected and picked off by Tyler Kruba. Gunnar Nortman going to lob it over to Dustin Zenz, who will corral it and get the offense set for the Vikings. Is Zenz. He'll get it over to Nortman, who's guarded by Tully. He'll go baseline. Nice drive by Nortman. He puts it up and in for 2.
Nortman with a quick 4 points
to start the game. So good job by Gunnar getting into the act early. Is Dregney guarded by Ziegler, that sharpshooter, as you said. Dan Tully guarded by Kruba. Down to Will Furman, his little baseline. Jay is up and good. So Reedsburg right back at you, says Will Furman. Dustin Zenz, he'll get it across the court, guarded by Furman. Over to Kruba, to Ziegler. Ziegler down low to Gunnar Nortman, sizing up. Max Tully, his shot is up and finds its way in. So Gunnar getting into the act tonight. He's got 6 of the Vikings' 8 points tonight, and that's just early. Max Tully will launch for 3. His shot is long, no good. Rebound by Tyler Kruba with 2 hands, as I like to point out. Gunnar Nortman, a little shake and bake on Dregney. He'll fake the pass over to Jason Larson, but the shot was off the mark and rebounded by Tyson Tully, who'll pull it out. Set the offense, little baseline drive. Yep, that's a charge all the way. Push off against Tyler Kruba. Push off of Tyler Kruba. As we got 11:52 here. If I could fix the clock or scoreboard on my phone here.
As I believe Classy checked in for Larson.
Classy checks in for Larson, so the only 2 seniors on this Vikings varsity squad is planned right now. The Vikings looking to take their first lead of the night, I believe. As Nortman, he'll get it over to Tyler Kruba, guarded by Dregney. Down low to Gunnar Nortman. That ball is deflected up, corralled by Daniels, who checked in recently. Double teamed by Ziegler and Zenz. His bounce pass, maybe a dangerous one, corralled by Will Furman. Kick out to Daniels. Nice closeout by Dustin Zenz, not giving up an inch. And over to Drendry, over to Will Furman, who knocks down the 3 for the Beavers, and they've got a 4-point lead. Does Reedsburg, and the Vikings looking to answer right now. Gunnar Nortman with the ball in his hands, guarded by, I couldn't see which number that was, Kohlenmeyer. Over to Zenz. Ziegler trying to post up on Will Furman, instead decides to pull it out. Dustin Zenz will jack up a 3. That is up and good. So Dusty Zenz, over the past couple games, has been knocking down a couple threes.
I believe he's hit a 3 in each of the last 3 games.
Had a defender in his face, did Dusty, and he knocked down the 3. Tyson Tully with the ball, guarded by Kruba has the height advantage as Will Furman. Guarded by Zens, not giving up an inch. Excuse me, folks. Oh, trip down is Daniels. Ooh, that looked like an awkward fall. Gets up. Athletic play by Classy and a block call.
12-11 your score with 10:24 in the first half.
So maybe a controversial call there, Dan. And that looked like an awkward fall Daniels had there. So Travis Classy will be at the free throw line shooting 2-2. His first one is off the rim, no good. As Jason Larson and Charlie Fish will check in. Charlie getting in early today.
Checks in for Nortman and Zenz.
Jeez, do I not have the score updated? No, I don't. Sorry, folks. So Classy's second free throw is up, no good. So he misses a pair at the free throw line. So 0 of 2 for Travis Classy is Tully. With a little crossover move on Kruba. Step back jack. His shot is short, no good. Rebounded by Classy. Fish will get it across. He'll look to Coach Nessheim for the offense. Almost lost the ball. Vikings looking to take their first lead of the night. As I said, maybe a little pick by Tyler Kruba. A little lob into Larson. Good job corralling it. Owen Ziegler jacks up a three. His shot is up, no good. Tapped out by a Viking. So it'll be Reedsburg ball with 9:48 left on the clock. And a 30-second timeout is taken, so we'll keep it here, Dan. A little slow start for the Vikings, who average around 51 points per game. And an adjustment, I would say, was be a little bit more safe with the ball. We see these over-the-head passes these days in basketball, and I believe those are becoming a little too common. They need to bounce pass or chest pass it. Those, in my opinion, are the safest passes, as the cheerleaders are trying to get this student section fired up. And that's hard to do when you only have 3 cheerleaders. So the Vikings will look to try to answer on defense. They've been playing solid defense tonight, but excuse me, folks, I'm just a little tired. Woke up right a couple hours ago and did me and Dan and came out and gave you guys this game as Colin Meyer gets it over to Furman. Maybe got away with a travel. Excuse me, that was Max Furman. Oh, number 22 is Colin Meyer. He has the ball right now. He'll try to go baseline on Owen Ziegler. Tyler Kruba came over, picked the ball away, and no jump ball call. Double teamed on Furman. Tyson Tully finds himself wide open on the baseline. Instead, he gets his own rebound and goes up and in for 2. So Tyson Tully getting in on the act again. Charlie Fish over to Jason Larson. Jason finds himself wide open, little Euro step, kind of forced the ball up. Not a good shot decision. And Colin Meyer pulled down the rebound, little crossover move. Tyson Tully goes baseline once again, and his shot is up off the backboard and good. So the Vikings down by 5.
6 points for Tully, so filling it up early.
Yeah, need to get a bucket to end this scoring run for the Beavers. Do the Vikings. Larson guarded by Tyson Tully. Classy has a wide open baseline. You see they've been doing that a little often tonight. Dan, they've been clearing out the baseline for the Vikings as maybe a little ill-advised pass by Ziegler is thrown up desperately by Kruba, so he doesn't get a baseline, and a block called by Jason Larson, and that was an easy one for the referees. Jason didn't get his feet set, and easy call, so inbounds pass to Dan. I got it right this time as Farns with the normal check-in for Ziegler and Kruba, excuse me. So almost your starting lineup right now. And a 5-second on the Beavers, so a solid defense by the Vikings to force a turnover as Dregney will check in for the Beavers for Tyson Tully.
The Vikings really got to capitalize here with Tully out.
Take advantage of Tyson Tully not being in the game. So Kruba will get it into Fish. He'll look to try to end this scoring drought for the Vikings. Over to Larson. I know this play exactly. They're going to try to lob it up for Farnsworth. Instead, they decide not to. Classy, tough drive to the hole. His shot up, no good. Up in the air, corralled by Gunnar Nortman, who puts it up and in and ends that scoring drought for the Vikings.
Nortman with exactly half of our points, if my math is correct.
You can't. I don't know how you divide 13 in half.
Oh, I was looking at. Oopsie doopsie. I was looking at Reedsburg's score.
That's okay, Dan. I forgive you. So 13-16 with the Vikings with the ball off of a carom out of bounds by the Beavers. So Bryce Farnsworth will take it across the court. Talk about a 6'3" point guard in high school. Gunnar Nortman has a open baseline. Elects to do a spin move. Gets it to Travis Classy. He goes up and no good. Ball off of a Beaver, so it'll be Vikings ball. Jim filling up now, Dan, as we go later in the game. Travis Classy looking to lob it in. Finds a wide open Gunnar Nortman, a little too strong. And Beavers looking to push. A short rest for Tyson Tully as Max Furman will jack up a three and hit it. And we got a timeout called on the court. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. Man, Dan, Beavers have been shooting lights out from from beyond the arc in three-point land, so really good start to the game for them. Whereas the Vikings, I think, have only made one three-pointer, and that's by the player you wouldn't expect to hit all the three-pointers in Dustin Zenz.
Beavers with 3 threes. So 9 of their 19 points have come from downtown.
9 of their 19 points have come from downtown. And I wonder how many of those were from Tyson Tully.
None, actually.
None, actually? Wow. He is a three-point threat.
You have Max Tully, hit one, Will Furman, and Ben Furman.
So the Vikings need to start knocking down a couple three-pointers as Bryce Farnsworth will get it into Charlie Fish. Charlie will take it across the half-court line, gets it over to Gunnar Nortman, a little heat on that pass. Ooh, nice little cross over the defense. Bryce Farnsworth gets himself open. Defender in his face. His shot is long, no good. Nice job by Classy to try to throw it off of Daniels. Instead, it finds its way into the hands of Will Furman. A little cross behind the back. Move on. Charlie Fish set up a pick by Daniels. And Max Tully will get it into Tyson Tully, their cousin or brother. Post-up move, kick out to Daniels, got himself wide open, guarded by 5 Vikings, and he is fouled. Every single Viking kind of converged on him there. So Daniels will be at the free throw line, shooting 2.
Looking to go 4 for 4 from the line.
Trying to go 4 for 4 from the free throw line. As Dan said, his first free throw is up and no good. So no perfect free throws for the Beavers tonight. As Daniels will look to try to get at least one. Daniels' second free throw is up and good. So the score is 20-13. Your Vikings down by 7. Dustin Zenz is checked back into the game. Vikings looking to get a score here. Find themselves down 7 over to Dusty. He has a wide open baseline, finds Farnsworth, has the height advantage if he wanted to post up. He does. Tough shot up, no good. Kind of forced that shot up, and the Beavers have a chance to extend this lead to potentially 10 points. Kick out to Will Furman. His three-point shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Daniels, finds its way back to Will Furman. Picked off by Gunnar Nortman, has an open Bryce Farnsworth, didn't see him, gets it over to Dustin, who'll set the offense. Over to Jason Larson, over to Farnsworth. Little crossover move on Kohlenmeyer. Over to Travis Classy, not a three-point shooter. And rebounded by Bryce Farnsworth. Good job getting the offensive rebound.
Looks like the Beavers just kind of watching the ball there, not really
just kind of ran
anything.
Away from it. Thought they had the rebound instead of making sure they had the rebound. Gunnar Nortman's got himself wide open. Spin move on Daniels, goes up and under, and he's called for the travel. So turnover Vikings.
As Dregney and Furman check in for.
So we got
Furman and
Tully? No. Kohlenmeyer? Yeah, Kohlenmeyer.
Adam Belk, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it's Belk. My bad, folks. I've been saying Kohlenmeyer. He's number 22.
Yep.
So we've got Furman, Tully, Daniels, Max Tully, and Dragney. And Furman will launch for three. His shot is up, no good. Tapped up into the air and rebounded by Daniels. But a reach-in foul called on Travis Classy. So, man, the Vikings are having trouble not fouling as of right now.
To 13 your score with 5:27 in the first half.
As Tully will get it on the baseline. He gets it over to Furman, back to Tully. Little step back jack, that's a long two, and that's up and good. So Tyson Tully lighting it up. Vikings down by 9. Need to get a bucket here. Really crucial that they get one. And that's a turnover. Vikings coach Nessheim is going to not have a player check in. As Tyson Tully, he will inbound it to Furman. Max Furman, that is, as we got 5:02 left in this game's first half. Furman guarded by Larson, playing some lockdown defense between the legs of Larson, maybe getting a little too fancy. Bryce Farnsworth found himself streaking up the court, so good defense by the Vikings right now. Dustin will take himself to the hole, right up, and toilet bowl up and in, and he scores on a much-needed bucket for the Vikings, who now find themselves down by 7. So the Vikings
Who got that bucket for the Beaver as well?
Tully did.
Which one?
Tyson Tully had a deep two. So that'll be a turnover by the Beavers. So 7-point lead for the Vikings with the ball back. Dusty Zenz will try to get it across the half-court line, and he does with ease. Guarded by Tully, who maybe got away with a shuffle of the feet. Gunnar Nortman goes right at Max Tully, and he is fouled. An over-the-back call on Gunnar Nortman. So we got 4:20 left in this first half, as Tyson Tully will inbound it to Will Furman. Furman guarded by Zenz. A little behind the back move. Kick out to Tyson Tully. Thought about the three. Instead, he'll drive. Floater up and no good. Rebounded by Farnsworth. Over to Zenz. Ooh, nice behind the back by Dustin Zenz. Finds a wide open baseline cutting Travis Classy, who flips it up there for 2. And that narrows down the lead to 5. And the Vikings making a little run of their self. They were chanting he's a freshman, but Travis Classy is not a freshman. Kick out. Furman lob into Tully. That's a little too much room. Daniels, he'll elevate for 3. His shot is short, no good. Rebounded by Travis Classy. Gunnar Nortman, a little crossover move on Furman. Bryce Farnsworth thought about the 3. He'll drive, bang his way down low. Kick it out to Dusty Zenz. He'll jack from 3. He hit one earlier, and he hits one again. And that narrows down the lead to 2 points for the Beavers. So
Go
ahead, Dan.
Zenz and Nortman tied for the Mount Horeb leading scorers with 8 apiece.
So Zenz, not usually the 3-point shooter we're accustomed to at all this season, but he's knocked down 2 so far this game. Pass to Furman. His floater is up and good, and the foul. So count it for Will Furman. He'll look to try to finish off the 3-point play and try to silence this crowd. Is Owen Ziegler will check in for Gunnar Nortman. I believe that is Gunnar's second foul, so he'll go on the bench, presumably for the rest of the half. As Furman's free throw is up and good, so he capitalizes on the 3-point play. As they say there's blood. They call it a battle scar. The Vikings, they got to have Larson check out. It's a new rule, folks. If there's blood on a player, they have to check out.
As Kerbaugh will check in for Larson. And Kohlmeyer checking in for Tully. So once again, the Vikings really need to capitalize here. Get a 3 and narrow the lead down to 2 and stop him score again.
You don't necessarily need a 3, but ideally, I mean, if you could have the opportunity for a 3, go ahead and take it. Dusty Zenz will get it to Bryce. He'll get it back to Dustin. Dustin thought about lobbing it over, finds it down low to Travis Classy. His spin move up and long, no good. That's off of a Viking, out of bounds. And the Mount Horeb crowd not happy about that call. Coach Nessheim, of all, is not happy about that.
As Tully checks in for Kohlmeyer.
That's like the second time tonight, Dan, that Tully has led, I swear, a 5-second break or breather. He's just that big of a player, or that important of a player, as Max Tully, guarded by Ziegler. Nice job closing out. Farnsworth guarding Daniels. Daniels trying to do an up and under move on Farnsworth. Furman over to Max Furman, who'll elevate for three. His shot is long, no good. Rebounded by Travis Classy. Outlet pass to Dustin Zenz. Has a wide open Bryce Farnsworth. As Zenz will drive, elevate. His shot is up and no good. So it'll be Beaver ball and a travel call on the Beavers. So a fortunate turnover for the Vikings. They get the ball right back. As we got 2:03 left in the first half here, as Zenz will look to inbound it. He'll lob it up to Kruba, who's got the hops. Back to Zenz. He'll baseline drive, spin out of it, over to Farnsworth. Good. Ooh, that was ugly from the start, and that's a turnover, Vikings. Just a little hot pass for Farnsworth to corral, and that goes out of bounds. So that's a turnover, Vikings. That's one thing that we said the Vikings needed to avoid is turnovers tonight, because that's really what's been killing them lately. Larson looking to check in. Furman will try to bleed this clock out. The Beavers with a 5-point lead, over to Max Tully, back to Furman. Finds a cutting Tyson Tully, who elevates, and his jumper was absolutely pure. So the Beavers back up by 7. Ziegler guarded by Tully. Kick out Bryce Farnsworth. Thought about the three. Instead, he'll drive it. Go up and under. His shot is awkward again. Rebounded by Tyler Kruba. Travis Classy finds Tyler Kruba, over to Travis Classy. He'll try to post up. Finds himself absolutely wide open. And Travis puts it up and in and narrows this lead down to 5.
Tyson Tully with a quick 10 points. So, got to stop him.
What a special player he is, Dan. We said you can never stop. You can only slow him down. Tyson Tully, he'll try to nice little spin move, and that's an air ball all the way. And that was tapped off of a Viking. So opposed to going for the rebound, they elected just to let it go out of bounds, and they paid the price for that.
Larson checking in for Kruba.
The starting lineup minus Owen Ziegler is on the floor. Tyson Tully will look to inbound it. He bangs his hands, gets it in. Nice job by Dustin, and he tips it off wow. They're going to talk about that, because that for sure to me looked like it was off of a Vikings, and they make the correction as the Vikings student section are applauding over the referee fixing his call. Tyson Tully will try to lob it in. He gets it into Furman. A little between the legs move over to Daniels, trying to get it over to Tyson Tully, their playmaker, over to Furman. Guarded by charge on Tyson Tully as Jason Larson set his feet and drew the charge that time. So good job by Jason to draw the charge. Last time he got picked up with a foul by doing that. So
as that is
Tyson Tully's third foul, so that's big. He only has 3 left, Dan, or two. Wow, that's his third. That's big for the Vikings if Tully has 3. So Zenz will get it across the court. They're looking like they might try to take the last shot out of the half, and they're going to try to a little lob pass. That was ugly from the start. Classy gathers it. That shot is up fine. Gets his own rebound. He goes up and too strong, no good. Tips it out. Finds it to Jason Larson. Gives it over to Dustin Zenz. Zenz will get the offensive set. Coach Nessheim calling out the offensive play. 15 seconds left. Over to Ziegler. Back to Zenz. Zenz. He's guarded by Daniels. 9 seconds left. Over to lob pass over to Farnsworth. He'll jack up a 3. His shot is up and good. So Bryce Farnsworth hits a 3 right before the half. As Tully's shot hits the white, no good. So Farnsworth answers with a 3.
Gets on the board with that 3.
The big old 3-pointer for the Vikings. And how big is that? To end the half with a 3-point shot. does Bryce Farnsworth. We got 10 minutes at halftime. 25-27. The Vikings make a quick run at it and find themselves still down by 2. You're listening to Wisco Radio. When we come back, we'll have a little halftime report, so don't tune away.
The GrandStay Hotel and Suites is a brand new hotel in Mount Horeb. The GrandStay caters to businesses and leisure travelers and is ideal for individuals and families. In a convenient location near Madison, GrandStay is also a great option for guests visiting neighboring Barneveld or Epic Systems in Verona. We offer clean, comfortable rooms, free hot breakfast, an indoor pool, hot tub, and a 24-hour fitness center. To see pictures, visit GrandStayMountHoreb.com or book online or call today 608-437-5200 to make your reservation. You are listening to Wisco Radio.
As we're getting word here from, Dan, I'm tempted to go down on the floor as many of these people are saying that they're going to do, as some young little Reedsburg fans are coming out on the floor. A bunch of people coming out, not really coming out. Is some Caden Kittleson and Kate, is that Cade, I believe? Kate Suwanka?
Yep. Let's get to the halftime report,
We'll
shall
get
we?
to some halftime as some decent three-point shooting by the Vikings. Could be a little better. I believe they're 100% from the free throw line, only shooting 2, and those are both made by Gunnar Nortman, so a solid first half for the Vikings.
Nortman, the leading scorer for the Vikings, with 8.
So we finally got, I finally got the scoreboard fixed. I do not.
4 of the 5 starters have scored for the Vikings. Larson, the only one that hasn't, unless I missed him, get a bucket.
I have absolutely no idea what they are doing out there on the court, Dan, for a halftime show.
And then for the Beavers, leading scorer is Tyson Tully with 10. Will Furman with
Who would guess that Tyson
7.
Who would have guessed that Tyson Tully's going to be their leading scorer? I for sure wouldn't have. I'm just kidding. I was the one who said that we needed to slow him down in the preview. As some weird stuff is happening out on the court. To be honest, I have no idea what is happening right now. As Carter Kuhn looks as confused as we are as what's happening on the court right now. But back to our game. Tyson Tully, Dan, you said has 10 points.
Yep.
Vikings were not able to stop. Like I said, nobody can ever be stopped. You can just slow them down. And they've done a decent job, Dan, from the last time we played him. I swear he had like 15 points in the first half. Just every single shot he made just were swishes. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch him play. And some just good job, solid defense by the Vikings. Down 7 at one point, scored 5 straight to close it out, and now it's just a 2-point game at half for the Beavers. Dan, what do you think are some adjustments they need to make? Obviously, there's not much to really poke at. It wasn't a horrible game. I'll stick to it. First team to 50 will win this game. I'm gonna stick to it. What do you say?
One adjustment I would make is a pretty darn easy one. Just convert the easy buckets in the paint. Vikings haven't done the greatest of jobs converting the layups, which
they've been, yeah, and also some offensive fouls were called, whether it's a charge, doing an up and under move. I saw, and maybe just better jobs of taking care of the ball. When we come back, we should be close to the start of the second half. So don't tune away, folks. We should have a fantastic second half. But also, because I have this time right now, Dan, if anybody is affiliated with, or if anybody is in the Mount Horeb High School music department or any music department at Mount Horeb, there is an event tonight called Taste of Jazz. It's an event where folks come and play jazz music, sing jazz music. You get to listen to it and eat good food. And if anybody wants to come there and ask me for an autograph, they can go ahead because I'll be there singing with my vocal jazz group. So keep that in mind, folks, if you want to come and ask good old Will for an autograph. Just kidding, you don't have to do that, but that would make me get a really big ego if you did. So we got 4:53 left in the first in the halftime show here. Don't tune away, folks. We'll come back with some keys to the game that they need to adjust, and hopefully the beginning of the second half. You've been listening to Wisco Radio. We'll be back with a quick word from our sponsors. Sorry, folks, if you couldn't hear us. Unfortunately, the IP for us went out, so we apologize to that. If I can go back to what I was going to say tonight, folks, if you're in town at around 7 o'clock tonight, to go back to the high school, and we got a good old this thing called Taste of Jazz for the music department throughout. I believe there's a middle school performance as well as high school. You get to listen to good jazz music and also eat nice food. So if you have the opportunity to show up tonight at 7 o'clock as the Vikings retake the court, we got just under 3 minutes left in our little halftime show. When we come back, we'll have the beginning of the second half. So don't tune away, folks. We'll be right back after this quick word from our sponsors.
Focused Dog Training provides comprehensive, lasting dog training for families. We offer a suite of high-touch training services that allow us to tailor our approach to your specific needs and produce results regardless of your dog's age, breed, and prior training history. We stand behind our training methods and guarantee that Focused Dog Training will be your trainer for life. Call us at 855-636-2873 or visit FocusedDogTraining.com to learn more about your free in-home consultation. Focused Dog Training, focused on helping families one dog at a time.
Find all previous stats, replays of past games, and weekly podcasts covering all Vikings athletic action by going to wiscoradio.com and clicking under the Archives podcast tab.
Welcome back here to Wisco Radio. 150 left in our halftime show here. Dan, some more adjustments we say. Take care of the ball and grab some more offensive boards. They've been doing a good job of that right now. That's not really a big thing I would pick at, but some solid defense, offensive boards, and they should be able to come back and take this victory. They find themselves down by 2 right now, and I'll mention it once more. Tonight we have Taste of Jazz. I'm basically saying this many times just so my parents do not forget to come, Dan. But we got Taste of Jazz here tonight at 7 o'clock here in the high school. It'll be a great night. You get to listen to some nice jazz music. Both choirs, bands, and orchestras shall be playing, and also you get to eat some good food. So make sure you show up for Taste of Jazz tonight. Brought to you by the Mount Horeb Music Department. We got a minute left, Dan. What are your thoughts on the second half? What should happen here?
Vikings got to come out strong, never look back, take the lead early, and
just never look back, like you said. If I would say most of the times where they've lost a lead has been when they've looked back and not stayed in the moment. And that's not I wouldn't say all their fault. It happens to every team. I mean, it's hard not to get caught up in the moment. You're excited after a dominant first half, and you just get to too big of a head and don't think about it. So the Vikings down by 2, start of the second half. They'll have the ball with the possession arrow. So Farnsworth will inbound it to Dustin Zenz as we get the second half of this great one underway. Vikings down by 2. Nortman guarded by Tully. Gets it over to Classy. Gets it down low to Larson, who the ball is deflected. So an early turnover for the Vikings, and that's corralled by Tyson Tully, who has 3 fouls. So, Dan, that's another thing that we'd like to point out. Attack Tyson Tully. Make him foul you because he's got 2. Nice little back cut by Tyson Tully. But that is kicked out of bounds by Travis Classy. So 7:36 left in the second half. Tyson Tully will inbound it. Little bounce pass, and that goes straight out of bounds. And a pair of turnovers is how we start this second half. Not the prettiest basketball being played in this first minute and a half of basketball right now as Dustin Zenz, he'll get it to Gunnar Nortman over to Dustin Zenz, a little between the legs, spin out, gets it to Travis Classy. His shot is up, athletic, no good. And rebounded by Tully, down low to Tyson Tully. He'll try to go to work. His fadeaway shot is up and good, and man, he has a beautiful shot, I would say. A little lob pass into Travis Classy, back to Nortman. Nortman will take it himself across the court line. Guarded by Max Tully. He'll get it over to Farnsworth. He just hit a 3-pointer to end the first half. Little spin move, kick out to Dustin Zenz. He'll try to drive, spin move, goes up, and a foul, so up and in, counted for Dustin. And he'll try to make this a 1-point game with the free. That's up and coming here. So Dustin will be at the free throw line, shooting 1.
Zenz now Mount Horeb's leading scorer with 9. Pending this free throw, 10.
Make that 10. Man, Dan, he has been a clutch free throw shooter for this Vikings squad here. So Furman, he'll get the ball. Nice little baseline back cut by Tully. He gets it to Tyson Tully. He's guarded by Classy. He gets his defender in the air. Trying to draw the charge was Jason Larson. As Dustin Zenz, good job noting that Tyson Tully
got an open Farnsworth.
Wasn't really going to fight for the ball, and that's something that the Vikings are going to need to keep in their mind, is that knowing that Tyson Tully, nice little spin move, ball maybe thrown up by Dustin Zenz, expected a foul, was not granted one. As Tyson Tully's shot is up, no good. He gets his own rebound and puts it up and in for 2. So with 15:50 left in this second half. Kick out to Larson. He'll elevate for 3. His shot is up, around and out. No good. Rebound outlet up to Furman. His shot is up. Blocked by Bryce Farnsworth. And that got the crowd excited a little bit. Vikings down by 3. But the Beavers with the ball off of a fantastic hustle play by Bryce Farnsworth. Finds a wide open Furman. That was a absolute letdown on defense by the Vikings right there. And an easy basket for the Beavers as Nortman will get it across the court between the legs on Tully, Max Tully that is. He'll try to drive it. He will be double teamed, cut out. Jason Larson has the ball. They're going to try to get it to Bryce Farnsworth, who just hit the 3. They don't see it. Dustin's giving him a screen, a little forced pass by the Vikings, or a forced shot that is, and Reedsburg's going to look to try to make this a 10-point game. Over to Tyson Tully. He'll try to drive. Thought about elevating. Instead, gets it over to Max Tully. He's guarded by Farnsworth. Over to Furman. He'll elevate for 3. His shot is up and good. So Reedsburg has a 10-point lead.
8 points.
8-point lead, excuse me. I don't know why I thought about that. So at 36-28 is your score.
14:44 left in the game.
So the Vikings kind of laying down on offense or defense there. Had a solid little possession. Dan, I couldn't tell if that was a full timeout, but no, it's a little too late to send it to break. We'll keep it here. Some adjustments. They need I mean, they obviously need to stop the scoring run because it's been
at least
4 points for the Beavers.
I think it was a 5-0 run.
5-0 run that's been unanswered by the Vikings right now, so they're going to need to solve that. Find themselves down by 8. And they're going to need to come up with some defensive stops here. Like we said, 14-44, 28-36. The Beavers lead this one. Let me fix the scoreboard here. I had it 1 second too much if my finger would work. As they're going to, the PA announcer, Coach Ryan Kleppe, is going to try to get this basketball team into it. They find themselves down by 8, so they're down in a hole, and the press is on by the Beavers. So a lob into Dustin Zenz, maybe a dangerous pass by Farnsworth. The quickster or the speedster will get it across the court line, and he'll get it into Travis Classy. He'll try to bang his way down low, a reach and foul on Furman, and that'll be his first. So couple seconds tick off of the clock, so the Vikings look to inbound the ball, excuse me. Zenz, he'll lob it over to Farnsworth. Little curl, gets it to Nortman. He'll try to bang his way down low on Max Tully. Nice little spin move by Gunner, and he gets it too.
Nortman with 10 now, so him and Zenz both with 10.
So a very good game by Zenz and Nortman right now. Tip ball up in the air, corralled by Furman over to Will Furman, guarded by Zenz. Kick out to Tully, Max Tully that is, Furman. Ben Furman this time. Picked by Tyson Tully. He's got to be careful. He's only got 2 fouls to play with. Furman will set his feet for 3. His shot is up and good, and just like that, it's a 9-point game again. The largest lead, I believe, for Reedsburg. Trying to lob pass it over to Farnsworth, trying to do a double screen.
Have an open Farnsworth, as you said, Will.
Trying to do a double screen out of the Vikings. Instead, Nortman will elevate for 3 and answers right back at that. So it's a 6-point lead, and it all starts here on defense, Dan. They're going to need to dig deep and try to convert here. Furman gets it to Max Furman. Little blow-by move. That is no good. No charge, no block called. Dustin Zenz will try to get it out quick. Farnsworth sets his feet for 3. His shot is up and good. So just like that, a 3-point game, and the Vikings are right back in it. So Vikings down by 3. Oh, nice little cut. Furman's shot is up, no good, and that caroms out of bounds. And that's a turnover, so solid defense by the Vikings, and they got the ball back with a chance to tie or get the ball down, or get the score down to 1, the deficit down to 1, excuse me, as Tyson Tully checks out with his
Vikings need to score here. I know I've said that, I believe this is my 3rd time, but
need to score.
Really got to capitalize when Tully's out.
So, Dan, like I said, because Tyson Tully has 3 fouls, that's something the Vikings could attack. Take him baseline or post up. Nice little back cut by Larson. That's up and in.
Larson's on the board now. Every Viking starter has scored.
That narrows the lead down to 1, though the Beavers lead it by 1 point, and it looks like it's probably going to be a quick break for Tyson Tully, as Will Furman will try to get it down low to Colin, or to number 22, Matthew Kohlenmeyer. Max Tully will try to go baseline. That's off of a Beaver, Max Tully, and that'll be Viking ball.
As Ziegler and Krubaugh check in for Classy and Farnsworth.
So shooter for shooter and defender for defender is checking in for the Vikings. So the Vikings have an opportunity to take the lead for the first time in probably 10 million years. Gunnar Nortman, little blow-by move. That's a 4-shot all the way. And maybe got away, did the push-off, did the Beavers, as Dregney checks in. Daniels will set his feet for 3. His shot is up high in the sky. No good. Rebounded by Gunnar Nortman. Good job going up with 2 hands. Dusty will get it across the half-court line. Little bounce pass to Tyler Kruba into Jason Larson. Gunnar Nortman will go attack. His shot is long, no good. And that'll be rebounded by Tully. Furman, he'll try to get it over to Dregney. That pass is deflected off of Kohlenmeyer. Tyler Kruba, he finds himself streaking and converts, and the Vikings take the lead for the first time in the second half.
I believe first time in the game.
No, that could be true, Dan. And a timeout called by the Beavers. Did they say a full 30-second timeout is called? So the Vikings take the lead for the first time here in the second half. 11-12 left in this one. Man, Dan, what a little momentum shift here as the
10-0 run, if I'm not mistaken.
10-0 run by the Vikings. Oh, no, it's not a 10-0 run. There was a...
Wasn't it 39-30?
There was a... Oh, yeah, wow, yeah, you're right, Dan, a 10-0 run. So, wow, good job correcting me, as usual. But what a good offensive and defensive little... It all started on defense, and that's what got the Vikings the ability to score and get that 10-0 run to go. And now they find themselves up by 1. And
now for the second half of the part, never looking back when you have the lead.
As Coach Nessheim not happy with Tyler Kruba, not in the right position. And the ball is lobbed into Furman, who will look to get it across the midcourt line. Does it with ease as he gets it over to Furman, Max Furman that is. Tyson Tully back in the game. His short mid-range jumper is long, no good. Rebounded by Jason Larson. And the ball is poked away. That's off of Dustin Zenz, they say last.
As Fish checks in for Zenz.
As Fish will check in for Zenz after the turnover, so Charlie will get some playing time here in the second half as Tully will inbound it to Furman. If, like I said, the Vikings really need to attack Tyson Tully. He's got 3 fouls, not 3 points, and that's something they really need to take care of. Daniels baseline drive, that is deflected by Charlie Fish and finds...
Got an open Ziegler in the corner.
Open Ziegler, his shot is up and blocked, and that'll stay here. It'll be Vikings ball. So with 10:28 left, the Vikings will have the ball at an inbound with the lead. Owen Ziegler, he'll set his feet for 3. He'll jack it up. That's long, no good. It finds Sands into Tyler Kruba, who gets it to Jason Larson. He'll try to drive. He's cut off. Gets it to Owen Ziegler. Back to Larson. Finds it to Kruba. Lob up to Fish. Charlie will get it over to Jason. They're going to look to, I know exactly this play. They're going to lob it to Ziegler. He'll jack it up a 3. His shot is up, and that's long, no good. Rebounded by Tyler Kruba. He gets it over to Larson. He'll elevate for 3. His shot is up and good. So the Vikings take a 4-point lead.
2 offensive boards on that possession. Just hustle plays.
By
defensive
Kruba.
hustle plays wins games.
So Furman over to Daniels. Daniels will kick it out to Max Furman into Tyson Tully. He'll try to attack. Step back jack on Tyler Kruba. That is up, no good. Rebounded by Gunnar Nortman.
Beavers can't buy a bucket. Almost alliteration there.
Beavers cannot buy a bucket. There you go, Dan. Nice little crossover move. Gets it over to Tyler Kruba. Baseline. Jason Larson he'll step back beyond the 3-point arc on Tyson Tully. He'll jack it up. He felt it. That time that's a major air ball. Got a little piece of it, did Tully. The Beavers looking to push. Tyson Tully wide open layup. His shot is up and good, and that answers right back. That ends a 12 or 13-0 run by your Vikings. So Nortman will get it across the half-court line. I believe Zenz is getting ready to check in. Cannot see correctly as pass dangerous. Man, Tyson Tully took a chance there. If he would have gotten fouled, that would have been his 4th. Is rejected by Max Furman as he'll go all the way. His shot is up, no good. Vikings need to take advantage of it. They need to go. They had numbers, and a timeout is called by the Beavers. Did they say a full timeout?
We will see here. Full timeout.
So a full timeout. We'll send it to a quick break, and you guys get to hear a word from our sponsors. 43-41 your score. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey sports fans, be sure to cheer on your local sports team just like Kittleson Landscape has for over 25 years. Like many of you, Craig and his team have students and athletes in the Mount Horeb schools and are dedicated to their success and the overall success of the athletic programs. Need a place to go and unwind after the big game? Kittleson Landscape specializes in outdoor fire pits, patios, and much more. To get your free estimate today, call 608-437-8845. Hope you enjoy the game, brought to you by Kittleson Landscape. Go Vikings!
You're listening to Wisco Radio, the leader in Mount Horeb Prep Athletics.
Welcome back here to Wisco Radio. Your Vikings with the lead, 43-41. And they're looking to try to add more to that with 8:35 left in this one. In the second half, I should say. I say in this one because it's in the second half.
We're going to have finishes on back-to-back, really good finishes on back-to-back games. I just have a feeling.
Hopefully they end the same way. Hopefully it'll be a Viking win. I don't want a little heartbreaking loss like in Monona Grove as Dustin. He'll bounce it into nice little back cut by Fish, and he gets called for the travel. So that'll be a turnover, Vikings.
Got to get a stop here and not allow
blown
tire lead change.
But if you're going to be, this is a good opportunity to get an offensive foul on Tyson Tully. So kind of play aggressive defense in a way and kind of hope for a charge. Tyson Tully with the ball. He'll try to slash. He goes way high, maybe throwing it up to a 7-footer. But that's not who he has, so that'll be a turnover, Beavers.
As Farnsworth checks in for Fish.
So Farnsworth will check back in with 43-41, your score with 8:13 left. And this one, hopefully, we'll have a nice, exhilarating finish here. Is Dustin Zenzu will take it across the midcourt line. Zenz will get it to Farnsworth. Not exactly in three-point range. Fake the handoff. He'll go right at Tully. And that's exactly what you need to do. He's got 3 fouls. Make him foul you. Cutting Farnsworth. Need to get it to him. He's guarded by Tully. They'll pass back to Dustin Zenz. Zenz gets it to Farnsworth. Back to Zenz. Trying to get it down low to Owen Ziegler. Dustin Zenz, he's attacking, gets it over to Classy. His baseline drive, athletic play, up, rebounded by Dustin Zenz and up and in.
Zenz with at least 3 or 4 offensive rebounds in the game, so great job crashing the boards by the 5'11 junior.
5'11 junior gets into the act as Jason Larson's looking to check in. Lob pass over to Furman, sets his feet for 3. He bangs one. And that makes it a 1-point lead.
4th 3 of the game for Ben Furman.
Right back at you, says Ben Furman. And it's a 1-point game just like that. Travis Classy, the little stutter step, gets it back to Bryce Farnsworth, guarded by Tully. They really need to take advantage of the fact that, oh wow, a little hot potato play down low with Travis Classy and the Beavers, and he gets it back up and in. He is not a freshman, and they keep chanting he's a freshman. And that makes me giggle every time because our student section is just weird. A nice pass intercepted by Travis Class. He's going to try to go to the distance, and he's blocked out. Coach Nessheim pleading his case. He gets what he wants. And with 6:32 left in this one,
Vikings have yet to commit a foul in the second half, so
that's a good sign. I mean,
Larson checks in for Ziegler.
So Vikings, good job not fouling in the second half. Watch him pick up a foul in like 38 seconds right here, Dan. Bryce Farnsworth slashing. They take him off. They take Tully off of Farnsworth, and they put him on Larson. So look for Larson to try to attack. Another baseline drive by Classy. Nortman sets his feet for 3, and he drains a three-pointer.
His second 3 of the game. No, I put it for Larson, but regardless, it is Nortman's second 3 of the game.
So good job by Dan. Even when he makes a mistake, he gets it right.
6-point lead for the Vikings, 50-44 with just over 6 minutes. So Vikings, if it holds true, will, not going to say it well, I might jinx it, so. Yeah, but I have a feeling you guys know what I'm thinking.
Daniels, he'll try to slash. Good job by Farnsworth, and there's your first foul of the game. Hold on, I want to do the math. I said 38 seconds. And
I think it was 40, so you were just a shade off.
Oh, my goodness. That would have been okay. It was like 6. I can't do the math in my head right now.
I believe it was around 40 seconds.
I don't want to embarrass myself on the radio. As Furman will get it over to Will Furman, Daniels, Furman, Tully, and I can't remember. I mean, yeah, there's the entire lineup. Daniels over to Furman, guarded by Zenz. He'll get it into Tyson Tully, who'll elevate, and he'll bang home one, and that'll...
I've noticed Tyson Tully really likes that little fadeaway jumper.
He likes a little quick J as Gunnar Norman will attack. A little lob over to Farnsworth to Zenz. They are going to try to, they're not necessarily trying to attack Tyson Tully. I mean, if you can, take him out of the game. If he follows out, then that's their leading scorer and their only offense right now. Bryce Farnsworth guarded by a little step back. He'll try to step into it. Maybe got away with a push-off, did Farnsworth. As Classy gets it over to Zenz. Back to Nortman. Back to Zenz. Guarded tough by Will Furman. Zenz going to get it to Jason Larson. No, they decide not to. Zenz, man, they're playing some hot potato down there, and I don't like it. It's pretty boring, actually. Zenz gets it to Larson, guarded by Tully. Maybe a reach in on Daniels. Instead, Classy will slash, and Gunnar Nortman tips it up and in. So Gunnar with a good tip in for the Vikings, and he answers back at that. Back
Nortman with 18.
18 were Nortman. Man, they got the height advantage.
And 18 for Tully as well.
On Tully. They really need to switch. Zenz on Tully. Farnsworth and Daniels need to switch. Yep, that's exactly what they do. Dustin just needs to stay home. Good job by Dustin, not giving up an inch. Daniels sets his feet for three. That is off the rim, no good. Tried to go up for the one-handed rebound, did Zenz, but it carried him out of his hands.
Farnsworth.
Had a streaking Farnsworth, instead missed him. And Dustin Zenz, he'll try to get it. Gets it to Classy. He'll try to bang his way down low. Gets himself open. Kicks out to Dustin Zenz. He has to corral it. He'll drive it into Travis Classy, and he doesn't get charged. Get called for the charge, and that ball is up into Tyson Tully. He'll set his feet for three. He launches. That is up, no good. And oh, geez, Bryce Farnsworth is down. Oh, geez, that's a knee injury. That may be an ACL injury right there. So Bryce will march to the sideline. Hopefully he's okay. I'll have to shoot him a text after this game and make sure he's okay. Like Ziegler will check in for him. And Bryce seems to be in a lot of pain, so he'll be heading to the Athletic. He'll be heading with Sherry to the training room or whatever you call it, to her office, and she'll look to try to figure out what it is. Nortman, he'll dribble between his legs, guarded by Furman, so hopefully Bryce is okay. Classy, man, that's a key injury. He finds a cutting Zenz. He'll go up and in and extend this lead to 7. Nope, not 7. Ooh, geez.
Zenz with 14 in the game, so
for 8-point lead. Geez, I was close. Ooh, I'm sorry, Miss Lemke, I let you down. As a 3-point shot by Furman, nice little outlet pass to Jason Larson. He's going to attack. Nice little Euro step, and he puts it up and in, and the Vikings are up by 10 and a timeout. So the Vikings.
Full timeout.
Full timeout. We'll take one as well. And you guys will get to hear a word from our sponsors. 10-point lead for the Vikings. When we come back, we'll have a good finish here.
When the stadium lights go on, you know it's time for Mount Horeb Barneville football, and that's where you'll find Mark Norman and Associates. As a parent and local business owner, Mark knows the importance of supporting high school athletics, the athletic program, and Mount Horeb Barneville football. Mark Norman and Associates also knows the importance of buying or selling your property. At First Weber of Mount Horeb, Mark Norman and Associates want to help you find the perfect home in the area, whether it be in the town or in the country. For the expertise and the experience you need, call 608-575-3393 or visit them online, marknortman.firstweber.com.
Can't make it to the game? Catch it live on wiscoradio.com or download our mobile app on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store.
Welcome back here to Wisco Radio. 56-46 with 2:46 left in this game, but more importantly, Bryce Farnsworth just recently went down with an apparent knee injury, so we hope he's okay. A key contributor to this Vikings offense, and they really need him back. So with 2:46 left in this game, the Vikings lead by 10, but in no way, shape, or form is that a comfortable lead when you have Tyson Tully on that team.
They cannot allow a 10-0 run like they did in DeForest, I believe it was.
Yeah, that would be heartbreaking. As a lob pass over to Furman, sets his feet for three. His shot is short, no good. Rebounded by Travis Classy. Nice athletic play to get it to Kruba, and he's sliding. They don't call a timeout. It gets in the way into the hands of
Great job by
Good
Zenz.
job by Zenz to just grab the ball, and that ball is poked away. Grabbed by Furman, and but the ball is, man, this has just been a crazy sequence of basketball, and what a weird little sequence right there. Just, man, Kruba had the ball in his hand, slid 10 feet. Reedsburg fans calling for a travel. I think by definition he'd have to roll over onto his stomach for it to be a travel. Dustin Zenz will slash, kick it out. They're just playing keep away here with 1:52 and a 10-point lead. As Larson gets it over to Nortman. Nortman's going to drive. He's going to get it out to Zenz. The ball's tipped away, and that's grabbed by Zenz over to Nortman. So, man, good hands play by the Vikings, and a foul on Furman.
This has been a super quick half with only 5 total fouls.
Man, that was just a crazy sequence, Dan.
As Ziegler checks in for Kruba.
I mean, that had to go off of what, several Vikings. Kruba getting showered with appreciation here as he made the athletic play.
Seemed like every player on the floor touched it there.
Yeah, there's a legit possibility of that, Dan, because, man, when you think of playing hot potato, that's exactly what they were doing. The Beavers only have one more foul to give, and that was on number 23, Max Furman, and he picks up his 4th, actually, right there. So only one more, and then the Vikings will be shooting 1-1 all the way.
Ben Furman with 12 in the game, so 4 fouls. Could be a pretty big contributor with
Tyson Tully was
knockdown 3-point shooter, got 4 on the day.
What does Tyson Tully have around, Dan? What does he have? That presses in, and Gunnar Nortman will get in.
18 for Tully.
Dregney just quickly fouls Nortman. So
as Kruba checks back in for Ziegler, so quick rest for Kruba.
Just need him to get him some water, get him some rest, because he's been playing all over the court today. Gunnar Nortman will be at the line shooting a 1-1. His first free throw is up and ready. There it is. It is up and good. So he earns the opportunity for 2 at the line. So the score is 11, the highest lead of the game for the Vikings, 57-46. Nortman looking to go 4 for 4 from the free throw line, and
Nortman
he does.
with an even 20 on the game with 4 free throws.
4 for 4 from the free throw line is Gunnar Nortman. And the lead is 12 for the Vikings. Looking for an answer in Tyson Tully. Max Tully's trying to slash at Nortman. He goes tough to the rim and in. So
Tully with 5 on the game.
Finds a streaking Jason Larson. Nice little fake. Tried to get Tully up in the air with 1:10 left in this as Max Furman is back in the game. They double team Nortman, get it to Zenz. Zenz will slash with just a minute remaining in this game. Tyson Tully fouled, and that's not necessarily the player.
4 fouls for him.
That's 4 on Tyson Tully. So Jason will be at the free throw line shooting 2.
1-1.
Excuse me, yeah, 1-1.
Not to correct you, but
no, you're good. You're good. And his
he
free throw is
2.
good, so he'll be has the opportunity of shooting 2. 59-48, 11-point lead once again with a shade under a minute with 56.7 seconds left in this one. Jason Larson trying to go 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and he does. So the Vikings, a solid
Larson with 9.
Right now, 100% from the free throw line, not a single one mixed. Daniels guarded by Zenz. Good job playing lockdown defense. Zenz getting in his face, annoying him. trying to get a three-pointer of some sort. As Furman will elevate for three. His shot is short, no good. Trying to get the rebound is Tyson Tully, but Tyler Kruba flies in and kind of catches the ball and carries it out of bounds.
60-48 your score. Mount Horeb in the lead with 38.8 as Malik Winston checks in for Tyler Kruba. So football star for, I believe Kruba plays football, right?
Yeah.
Football star for football star.
Kind of get Malik Winston in there because of his athletic ability. Tyson Tully did a good job, just threw it off of the back of Malik Winston.
Tully with an even 20 on the game, so
wow.
Nortman and Tully both with 20.
What a crazy little play. Tully saw that Winston had turned his back, threw it right off of the back of him and got it back for a quick jump shot and brings it down to a 10-point lead with 35.6 seconds to go. I don't know how many. The Beavers have only one timeout left, so they can only stop the clock once more as number 22, Matthew Coldenmeyer, will check in for the Beavers. So I assume a three-pointer threat will come in. 35.6 seconds left. 60-50 is your score. Dan, I believe the Vikings were the first to 50 today.
Yep.
So hopefully I keep going with how correct I am on things. All three-point shooters will be in. Good free throw shooters are also in for the Vikings. Right now, Dan, they're 100% from the free throw line. Not much that Coach Nessheim can complain about that. I'd assume if the Vikings get it in, it'll be a quick foul. So as of right now, they're 100% from the free throw line. 35.6 seconds left. Zenz can run the baseline and a quick inbounds to Zenz, and he is fouled. So Zenz will be at the free throw line, and they'll be shooting one-on-one. So Zenz has an opportunity to try to lead to 11 and 12.
As Winston checks in for Ziegler.
Winston will check in for Ziegler. I feel like they have Malik in there because he's such a beast, and they know he can play physical ball because he's got that football mentality. Zenz will be at the free throw line shooting a one-and-one. His first one is up and no good. Just like that, I jinx him, and that Jason Larson tried to bat it off of his hands, and the first free throw of the night that is missed by the Vikings.
Unless I'm missing a miss from earlier in the free throw line, miss from in the season from the free throw line from Zenz. It's only his third or fourth miss on the year.
Smart foul by Zenz, just waste a bunch of time.
Vikings with only 2 fouls.
So they have fouls to give. Not a shooting foul, so that just took some time off the clock. Wouldn't be surprised if they do that again. Tully inbounds it. He has 4 fouls, so one more and he's out of the game. And that's another foul on Nortman. So that's his third, I believe.
Zach charges Zenz with it. That's his second on the game.
Second within 5 seconds. Unbau's pass. That's a shooting foul. That's poked away by Zenz. They'll go up again. His pass is up, no good. Jason Larson's at the free throw line, and the Beavers foul with 14.5 seconds left in this one, and it looks like it'll be a Vikings victory as
Stu Wohler and I believe Aob Urban check in.
Yep, Stu Wohler, Aob Urban check in for. They'll be checking in.
Our own Cade Johnson checks in, along with Logan Rasmussen.
We'll be checking in relatively shortly here after Larson's first free throw. So his first free throw is up and good. Is Larson. So that'll put
Larson
the score.
with 10 on the game.
That'll put the score at 61-50. Your Vikings ahead by 11. Larson's second free throw is up and rattles it home. So Larson will finish the game with
11.
With 11.
Nortman finished the game with, let me add this up, folks.
Tyson Tully will bring it across the court, guarded by Stu Wohler. Over to Furman. He'll jack up a 3. His shot is short, no good, and that's rebounded by Stu Wohler, and that'll do it. Stu Wohler gets on the stat sheet with a rebound, and that'll finish it. The Vikings improve to 12-3 with a 12-point victory over the Reedsburg Beavers. A hard-fought victory, but the Vikings pull it off. 62-50, your final score. When we come back, we'll have some post-game stats And I'll pick our fan and player of the game. You've been listening to Wisco Radio. We'll be back, but a word from our sponsors.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp. Get started with your idea. Call for free information.